Hello students, today's topic is allotropes of carbon. Now in nature we find several substances that are made of carbon and carbon only. One of them is the white stones that you can see in this gold ring, that is the diamonds. Diamonds are made of carbon only. Another example of allotrope of carbon is this black portion of the pencil, commonly known as pencil lead, is made of graphite. Graphite is made of only carbon. So this diamond and graphite both are made of only carbon. So they are called allotropes. Why they are called allotropes? Because their chemical properties are same. They are made of carbon. So if we burn them in air, what happens is, in both cases, it takes oxygen from air and forms carbon dioxide only. The carbon in diamond and the carbon in graphite takes oxygen from air and makes carbon dioxide only. So their chemical properties are same. But if we are looking into their physical state, then in both cases their physical state is also same. They are solid. But their physical properties are very, very different. In case of diamond, as we have seen, diamond is white and shiny, whereas in case of graphite, as we have seen, it is grayish black in color. So as we see, in both cases the color is very different. Next, if we are looking at their melting point, it is also very different. If we are looking into their hardness and softness, in case of diamond, we find diamonds are very hard. In fact, diamonds are the hardest substance known. They are helped in cutting the glasses. At the tip of a knife, a diamond stone is placed so that we can cut glasses. It is a very hard in characteristic. Whereas in graphite, we find graphites are soft and slippery. Why do we find diamonds as hard and graphites as soft? If we look at the structure of a diamond and structure of a graphite, this is a structure of a diamond. And this is a structure of a graphite. In case of diamond, this is a crystal of diamond. In case of diamond, we will see a carbon atom is attached to 4 more carbon atoms. All 4 bonds, since carbon is tetravalent, all its 4 bonds are attached to 4 other carbon atoms with the help of a covalent bond. By the way, students, if you want to know more about this tetravalency and covalency and how carbon forms a covalent bond, please do watch my previous video. There we have discussed about this carbon bonds. Coming back here, each carbon atom is attached to 4 other carbon atoms. Then this carbon atom again is attached to 4 other carbon atoms likewise. This one also carbon-carbon bonding, and it forms a very rigid 3-dimensional structure. That's why we find it a very hard substance. In case of graphite, what happens? It forms in layers with hexagonal planar structures like this, and each carbon is attached to 3 more carbon atoms. See, this carbon is attached to 3, this carbon, and it forms a planar structure. Each plane of graphite is called graphene. Like this is one plane of graphene, then another plane of graphene, and they forms the graphite, and there is a gap between the 2 layers, and this helps them to become slippery, soft and slippery. What happens when we write with the help of a pencil, the pencil lead, we write, one of the layers slips and we are able to write, then the next layer comes and then the next layer slips and we are able to write back again. So that's why this is a little soft and slippery in characteristic. Coming back to diamond, since diamond each carbon is attached to 4 more carbon atoms, it does not have any free electron left. Whereas in this graphite structure, since one carbon atom is attached to 3 more carbon atoms, it has a free electron in its planes. So what happens? This free electron helps in conduction of current. That's why we say for diamond we can see actually that it is a bad conductor of electricity. Bad conductor of electricity. Whereas in graphite we can see it is a good conductor of electricity. In fact, you can find graphite electrodes while doing electrolysis. You can find graphite electrodes inside the battery, the cell that we use. They are dry cells. You will find graphite electrodes inside it, since it is a good conductor of electricity. The third type of allotrope that we will be discussing here is has a structure like this. It is made of 60 carbon atoms and its name is Buckminster fullerene. Buckminster fullerene, or commonly said as buckyballs. This structure is not that scientifically drawn. Actually, it looks like a football with several pentagons and hexagons joined together. If we are looking at a football, actually, we can see that there is a pentagon. Let each corner be a carbon atom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 carbons. So this is a pentagon. And here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 carbon. So this is a hexagon. Again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Likewise, with several pentagons and hexagons, it forms a football-like, cage-like structure that are called buckyballs. These buckyballs are used mainly in medical sciences as catalyst, and several other uses are there. So these are few of the allotropes today we have discussed. There are several other allotropes of carbon. Thank you for today. Bye.